So if you want to improve your understanding, it means that you need to improve your part of intelligence, which is called deductive reasoning. And here is the guide how to do this step by step. So first of all, you need to understand what is actually deductive reasoning. And it's reading a complicated pattern from an easy one by learning how the things work in the theory. So when you, for example, learn that dog is mammal, you can learn that, oh, maybe this animal, which looks like a dog and it's actually a wolf, is also a mammal. And this is a very easy example, but this is how it works in your brain. If you will get good in recognizing patterns, you can get good in understanding more complicated tasks from an easy patterns. And this is what you want to achieve when you mean understanding things better. So first step which you need to do is to practice. You should know that your brain has actually huge potential to neuroplasticity, and the way when you shape it, mostly when you are a teenager and when you are young, have the influence on the rest of your life. So if you want to achieve a better understanding of things, the first thing which you need to do is to practice as often as you can, because not one-time action makes you a professional, but all the time repeating one kind of behavior makes you actually a professional and best person you can be. So your first goal will be to improve quantity of your actions when you try to learn new things which are complicated to you. And to do this, you need to create special system which will enforce you to make this better. So I will tell you my secret strategy which helped me to reach my full potential when it's coming to understanding new things. So I'm using ChatGPT because this is the best tool to understand the beginning and the start of all which you want to learn. You can, for example, type, help me to understand spectrophotometry and explain this like you want to explain this to a kid which knows nothing about this topic. And ChatGPT, by their algorithm, will try to give you some specific answer which will be much easier for you than, for example, first tutorial on YouTube, which you can find easily. So when you already know some most basic things, you can ask about even more basics, like explain to me this like I was a retarded person. I literally was typing it into ChatGPT and it helped me a lot. And if you already have some absolute total basics, you can go further. So you can ask ChatGPT, give me 10 titles which will help to find me best YouTube videos on spectrophotometry. So it gives few titles and you can choose from these titles this one which seems to be the most appealing to you, or try few of them, and you can easily search on video some informations about this topic, and you already learn from two types of learning sources what you want to actually understand. This way is really important because it lets you push to work different parts of your brain, and if the infrastructure of memory is located in different parts, it's much easier for you to actually memorize that and remember again when it's needed. Then you can use modified Feynman technique, which comes to explaining other people what you learned, and by this understanding information on a deeper level. I said this, it's modified Feynman method, because you don't exactly explain other people or some fake people which you imagined how things works, but you make a drawing where you try to explain this to a person which never had actually a conversation with you. So you can, for example, make some drawing where you try to explain everything what you just learned to a fake person which you can imagine that will have only access to your drawing. And by this, you can check this drawing 1 week later, and because of the fact you are the author of this, you can notice that, oh yes, this was what was going on in this complicated topic. So now you have 3 sources of learning. First of all, some basic explanation from ChatGPT, some explanation from YouTube video, and by this you can create your own drawing map when you can explain everything to yourself how you learned this. When you have, of course, some books or some other source of knowledge, yes, use this. But if you have absolutely no clue about some topic, that's where you should start. And remember that ChatGPT can also make mistakes, and also there can happen some mistakes in YouTube videos about some certain topic. So when you do your research, remember to watch at least few videos, or for example, check this in ChatGPT and open an eye, and also every time remember to use internet. Yes, ChatGPT is smart, or some DeepSeek also is smart, so you can verify your information by two sources at least, or the best it would be free. And to improve your deductive reasoning in itself, you can actually use neuroplasticity of your brain, as I said before, and we can improve it by playing with some games which actually requires to have a strategy. So the best would be of course chess, but if you have some other games which are more enjoyable for you than chess, you can also use them. But I think chess is the best and gives the most of benefits, because this game is known for thousands years for the best strategy learning from all these things. So yes, use chess if you don't play any games which require strategy right now. And actually remember that the best what you can do for yourself in terms of bodybuilding, developing your brain, developing your memory, intelligence, is to do this regularly. Every day, every 2 days, up to you. But quantity is extremely important in all activities. And it's the hardest part, because it's not hard to one time learn everything from ChatGPT and understand it. It's hard to every day review something, because when you learn this, you need reviews and you need to every day look at your drawings and think, okay, this comes from this comes from that, and think like this. And this is extremely important, and this is when most of people actually fail. So you need to improve your quantity at all costs. I'm giving here you a very specific information how to improve the things, and I will give you here best tip how to improve to be regular. And this is very easy actually, because you need to do plans for your days. And it sounds very boring, and this is how it is, but you should sit every evening and think what you need to do the next day and plan it with an exact hour when you plan to do this. And to even make it more efficient, I even put a reminder in my phone to an exact hour that, for example, when I need to do something at 10 a.m. in the morning, I put my alarm 10 a.m. in the morning and I put in the reminder what I actually need to do. So I don't need to think, I'm not tired by making decisions. And I see, okay, I need to do this. So I do the thing which I planned the day earlier. And that's how you can improve. This is not something which is a rocket science. When you will do these steps, I guarantee you will succeed. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, of course, subscribe, like, and comment if you want. And here's another video which will help you improve your brain even more. Thank you for watching.